Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of Max and Nicky 1000th Time Reactions,
where we react to a song after listening to it for our 1000th time.
We release 3 videos a day.
Every day.
So please hit that subscribe button.
And turn on post notifications.
So you don't miss out on all this great content. What are we going to listen to right now, Nicky?
We're going to listen to There's a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. Now, the Smiths are a very big influence on our own music, especially the chorus guitar playing of Johnny Marr. So the Smiths are definitely one of our favorite bands. And this song is no exception to that rule, I guess. You know, that we love this song. We've listened to it many, many times.
But before we listen to it this time, as we normally do, we like to mention that we also have another channel called Max and Nicky,
on which we perform oldies tunes, jazz standards, and originals in that vein. And in fact, we actually do a cover of a Smith song, which is Ask, if you want to check that out. We also have comedy videos on that channel as well.
That's right. But for right now, let's take a listen to There Is a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths.
For our 1000th time.
Here we go.
Take me out tonight, where there's music and there's people and the young and the light. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, because I haven't got one anymore. Take me out tonight, because I want to see people and I want to see life. Driving in your car, oh please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home and I'm welcome no more. And if a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side is such a heavenly way to die. And if a 10-ton truck kills the both of us, to die by your side, well, the pleasure, the privilege is mine. Take me out tonight, take me anywhere, don't care, don't care, don't care. And in the darkened underpass, I thought, oh God, my chance has come at last. But then a strange fear gripped me and I just couldn't ask. Take me out tonight, oh take me anywhere, don't care, don't care, don't care. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, because I haven't got one all alone. Oh, I haven't got one. And if a double-decker bus crashes into
All right. There's a Light That Never Goes Out by the Smiths. Mm-hmm. I love that song. It's a great song.
It's a great song. It's interesting. We just did a reaction to Paradise by the Dashboard Light, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. And this is called There's a Light That Never Goes Out. And they're both about being in a car, you know. It's kind of an interesting...
Well, but also, this is not about being in a car.
It is.
Being in... Oh, well, yeah, it is. Sorry. It is about being a car. I'm sorry. I was confused. I was thinking of another song for some reason in that moment. Anyway, just I had a mental lapse there.
Well, anyway,
this song is so good. It's the Smiths were different from a lot of those other British bands coming out of in the 80s. They still kind of kept strong with their kind of, I guess, rock roots, I guess you could say.
well, I think they always, a lot of 80s bands, especially in England, were using a lot of synth exclusively, actually, in their band.
But what's interesting is this...
Although there is some synth in here, too, actually.
That's kind of... They're like synth strings,
Synth strings and...
But it's used very effectively.
Or at least sampled strings and sampled flute, I even think.
Well, I thought that was like a pan flute, it sounded like, maybe.
I think it was... But I don't think it's real, though.
Right.
I think.
But there is something very 80s sounding about this song, but in a different way than maybe...
Right, but they still played... But also, you mentioned earlier that, Johnny Marr's chorus guitar influences us a lot, and this song, no less, but chorus guitar's not heard on this song.
Rarely,
except for maybe...
I
think there's one moment in sort of... It's in the back, you hear a part that you hear his
but you
chorus
do
guitar
hear... He had kind of two known kinds of guitars styles, I guess, that would be playing. It was either that chorus guitar or it was that
strummed acoustic, but it almost sounded like a 12 string somehow for some reason, or not 12 string, but that the way that acoustic guitar sounds is very, you hear it on Please 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 Let Me Get What I Want, it's this, there's a quality to that sound that is very Johnny Marr. Now, I really... Well, you actually hear it on Ask as well.
Right, you hear it on Ask as well. I mean, you hear it on a lot of songs, but something that often goes overlooked in a lot of Smith songs is the bass playing. And
oh, sure, very melodic on this.
Very melodic. You can really hear it. It's very in the center, and it's pretty punchy. And if you hear it, you can hear it very well on something like This Charming Man or Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now. And I really appreciate the bassist in the Smiths. He gets a groove going, which I really like a lot.
Sure. There was one time when I was we had just done an open mic, and we were hanging out with some friends afterwards, and we were in this bar, and this song it starts to play in the bar, and a lot of us in the bar started singing along to this song because it's especially the chorus is very memorable.
It's very catchy.
It just was. Everyone was singing along. I just thought, well, this is a good moment.
It's funny that people are singing along together in a group, yet the lyrics are sort of depressing.
They're a little morbid.
I mean, which is very apropos for the Smiths.
Well, they're not. It's not depressing. I don't know if it's necessarily depressing. He's just. That's a very Morrissey kind of thing to do. He kind of combines, pleasure and there's a morbid quality to it, and he's talking about death, but it's relating to. He's saying it would be a privilege to be, by your side.
I know,
to die
but
with you.
He has this. It's almost like a morbid, almost sense of humor in a way, but
also I guess
it's poetic too.
There's something also very teenagery about it too. Like he talks about this song. This music's kind of made for this kind of, I don't know, phase of life type of thing. About for people who are going through.
I think going through maybe the trials and tribulations of young love, I guess.
Or I don't even know if this is. I wouldn't necessarily say this is not necessarily about love.
No,
but,
I know. Oh no, I know it's not. It's
right.
not.
But I would say trials and tribulations of just being a young person. Actually,
Where things are kind of hyperbolic, you know.
things are hyperbolic, and yeah, you make things out to be hyperbole.
You say and think these grand statements and gestures, you know.
Yeah, and you also, you kind of are a depressed kind of person in a way. And,
Sure.
And I don't know.
I mean,
Something like that.
the Smiths are great.
You're lonely and depressed, and
The Smiths are a great
melancholic.
band for a high school or college student to discover.
And anyone beyond that, because you think about those lyrics even later in life too, and you can kind of, it's interesting to analyze those later on in life too, and also you might think you feel that way later in life too. I mean, so it's interesting. Anyway, anything else you'd like to say, Nicky?
No, I would say I think we covered it all. I think that'll do it for this video on the Smiths. There is a light that never goes out. If you liked and enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future Max and Nicky reaction videos.
Please keep tuning in.